Hello, this is Derby. In this video, we will learn about the concept of academic referencing and how to use EndNote software for reference management. To outline the learning outcomes, after successfully watching this video, you will be able to explain the concept of academic referencing, distinguish between the two popular forms of in-text citations, which are parenthetical and narrative citations, and use EndNote software to manage references and generate citations. Let us start by understanding what academic referencing is and its main components. So what is referencing? Referencing is a standardized way of acknowledging the sources of information and ideas used in academic writing and scientific papers. In other terms, referencing is about giving proper credit to other authors and avoiding plagiarism. It usually consists of two elements or components, which are in-text citation and list of references. In-text citations are short references included within the text of a paper. They usually include the author's name and year of publication. They can appear in the parenthetical form or a narrative form. The list of references appear at the end of the document and provides full details of all sources cited in the text. If you take a brief example from a work on organizational citizenship behavior from a literature review part, whenever we build our arguments based on the work of other scholars, it requires formally acknowledging them by using standard referencing techniques. This involves applying in-text citations, the last name of the author and year of publication, and providing a complete list of references with detailed and adequate information, including the author's names with initials, year, title, journal name, volume, issue. From this example, it can be observed that the first two in-text citations, which include the author's last name and year of publication in parentheses, are presented in a parenthetical form. In contrast, the last two citations are narrative citations, where the author's name is integrated into the sentence. Thus, in the demonstration section, we will see how EndNote easily inserts in-text citations into a paper and automatically generates the list of references. Now, let us briefly look at the key differences between parenthetical and narrative citations, which are the two common approaches used to structure and present references within the text. The first widely used ways of citing sources within the text is parenthetical citation, which places the author's last name and year of publication in parentheses, typically at the end of a sentence or a phrase or a paragraph. This style emphasizes the information rather than the researcher. For example, when stating a general fact or widely accepted idea, a writer may say, "Education improves society." Then parenthetical citation would follow. Smith, 2020. Parenthetical citations are particularly useful when multiple sources are cited or when the author is not central to the argument being made. Narrative citation, on the other hand, integrates the author's name directly into the sentence, followed by the year in parentheses. This highlights the researcher is often used when discussing specific studies or theories or viewpoints. For instance, Smith, outside of the bracket, the year of publication, 2020, within the bracket, argues that education improves society. In this case, the author becomes part of the narrative or the sentence. Before we jump into the software demonstration, let us take a quick look at what EndNote is and its key functions. Then what is EndNote? EndNote is a bibliography management software designed to allow researchers and other users to record, to organize and use references, both in-text citation and list of references. So it is a reference management software that helps users manage academic references efficiently. Let us quickly summarize the key functions of EndNote. The first key function of EndNote is to create a literature library. After downloading and installing the software, the starting point is to build the library by adding as many references as possible. This can be done either manually or by importing references directly from online sources such as library journals, databases, or Google Scholar. It's also important to note that EndNote Literature Library can be created at the beginning of a project and continuously expanded throughout the reading and writing process. The second function of EndNote is to insert in-text citation in both parenthetical and narrative forms. In addition, it allows users to easily edit citation and switch between different referencing styles. The third function of EndNote software is to produce a list of references. Once in-text citations have been inserted, the reference list or bibliography is generated automatically by the software, which is arranged alphabetically and formatted according to the chosen style, for example, in APA form or in Harvard referencing style. So how do you get started with EndNote? The first step to get started with EndNote is to download and install software. Like many other software programs, EndNote must be downloaded and installed on either a Microsoft Windows or Mac operating system before it can be used for reference management. We can access the EndNote software through the following options. The first option is to download it directly from the official EndNote website, which is maintained by Clarivate Analytics. The second option is to download EndNote from the FileHorse website, which I will use for demonstration purposes. Now let us proceed to the demonstration, beginning with downloading the software from the FileHorse website for the Windows operating system. Install from the following link. Let me write it. EndNote, download FileHorse. Better if you use this link. EndNote download FileHorse. So you can automatically get the trial version. And when you click it, you get this window. Then we go to here. If you take detailed information, the latest version, for example, is 21.5. So if you want to buy, you click just buy now. Since we need the free download, so we click this one, free download. We don't need Opera, so better if I close this one. It is advertisement, so let me close it. Then you get directly this one, start download. So click start download. Once it is downloaded, then following the instructions given by the software itself, following that instruction, like for example, accept instruction, you accept instruction, language, for example, English. So following the instructions, you can easily install in your laptop or desktop. Once we have downloaded and installed the EndNote software, then when you open from the start menu, you get this dialog box. Then it asks you whether to create a new library or open an existing library. If you have an experience working on EndNote library and if you have existing library, you could open an existing library, but assume we have started for the first time. So we click the second option, create a new library. This directly leads me to save my EndNote library. So you need to select where you want to save. Let me use desktop for easy access to quickly access it. So let me select desktop EndNote for the purpose of this session. So I just save it. I have to know where I've saved it. So save. Now let us look at how to open, save and close the EndNote workspace. Once it is downloaded and installed on a computer, we can open it from the start menu or alternatively from a desktop shortcut if available. Here, let me demonstrate using the start menu. So we click the start menu and then we write from the search for application, EndNote in this case. Then you find the application. Once opened, the EndNote library interface will appear and ready for use. It has the main toolbar on the top with several commands like file, edit, references, groups, library tools window, and help. To mention the functions and uses of some of the commands, if you take file, it is used to create EndNote workspace. For example, here we click file, and then if we wanted to create new workspace for EndNote library, then we click here new. It directs us to save new workspace for EndNote library. Therefore, you can organize your EndNote library by the project names, by the topics of your research. It also used to close the EndNote library. You just click exit here. The edit command allows users to modify references and preferences. The references command used to edit and duplicate references. Importantly, this command allows users to add references manually, which will be addressed in the demonstration section. The EndNote interface is divided into three main panes or sections. Let me quickly explain these three sections after sharing one of my existing EndNote library. So the first section is the left pane, or the group section, displays groups and folders. This section used to organize references into categories. For example, by research topics, we can create groups for our references using this section or pane. The second section, which is located in the center, which is said to be center pane or reference list section. This shows a list of all references in the EndNote literature library. It displays the name of the author, the year of publication, the title, the journal name, and other information. This is where users can view all references. In this particular example, we have created 329 references, mainly by importing from the online databases. This is where users can view and select references in order to insert into the Word, for example. After highlighting, after selecting the reference, then we insert into the Word document. The third section is located in the right side. It is the right pane or the preview section. It displays detailed information or a preview of the selected reference. If you select a particular reference from the center pane, then the preview is displayed on the right pane of the EndNote interface. Dear viewers, in the remainder of this video, we will learn how to create EndNote literature library manually or by importing references from online sources, in this case using Google Scholar, insert citations using both standard parenthetical and narrative citation formats, and edit and manage citations. We will go through each of these steps one by one. The first step or task of EndNote is to create EndNote library. So in order to create the EndNote library, you open your EndNote library, and then you can manually create your EndNote library. If you click here references, then you click new reference. You open here new reference. You see, you get the format, the traditional format, how to provide detailed information for any source. Detailed information depending on the type of the materials, the type of the literature, whether it is book or book chapter or journal. The default reference type in the EndNote is journal article, because in most cases it is advisable to use journal article for academic writing. That's why you find journal article as a default, but you can change just by clicking this box. this box, and then you can change. There are many types of materials like database, ancient text, artwork, book. If you want to manually provide detailed information for the book, then you click book and then you provide information for that specific book. If it is book section, you click book section. If you wanted to provide bibliographical information for table, for classical work, okay, dictionary, many. If it is a government document, it is arranged alphabetically. The default is article, so let us just use journal article. If it is accessible from online source, the easiest way is to use the online source. From the Google, you can directly import into this EndNote library. But if it is only in copy, that's why we can provide using manual. Assume the last name of the author that we want to cite is Muhammad, for example. If the name is Muhammad, then Muhammad. If the first name is Ali, we write Ali. So the last name or family name, then comma, then the first name of the author, we write like this. If we have more than one author, you start from the new line. Then you click enter, you write on the next line, okay? You should not write next to Ali, but you click enter and write on the new line for another author. Assume the second author is Peter, the last name of the second author, Peter, comma. So if you have two authors, if you have again the third author, you click enter and you have to write in the new line just like this. Assume we have only two authors for this specific work, which was published in 2023. The title is Government Performance in Development, for example. The journal name, maybe International Journal of Public Administration. This journal article, volume is 24, and the issue number could be 2. Page number is from 1 up to 34. I think this information is adequate. It's enough, just for example purpose. Then we should not forget here, save. Then we click save here. So immediately when we click save, one source would be created into our EndNote library. So automatically it will be created into our EndNote library. Let me close this one, already saved. So when I close it, we find our EndNote library. Already we have one reference. As you can see, we have one reference. So the preview here is the way it would be referenced under list of reference. And maybe you can change depending on the style that you use. This is not APA, for example. Then here we click it. As you look this option, you get this option annotated, okay, automatically. So we need to change to the reference style that we are supposed to use. If you use APA style, then you need to change into APA style from here. Then I click here. I have many options, so I click here. You get number of options. By default, you find here APA 7th, author date, Chicago, MHRA, numbered. Okay, many options, and you even select another style. Now, let us select APA 7th edition. So APA, then it will be changed into 7th. Okay, automatically it will be changed into 7th. So if you look the preview, change it into APA 7th version. Okay, this is the way you create reference manually. Again, if you want to add another reference manually, if you have only hard copy actually, then you click reference here and you insert, you provide detailed information. Now let me show you how we directly import from the online source, usually from the Google Scholar. Nowadays, most of the academic work, the scholarly papers are available online. So you can get from the Google Scholar and you can directly import the reference information into your EndNote library from the Google Scholar. So I open Google Scholar and I write the key terms, the keywords related to my topic, my title. So if it is on project success, then you write the key terms. Key terms like project success. If you want to link with leadership, for example, leadership and project success, I write here and I can find number of journal articles, number of books which are available online, and then I can cite them. My proposal is, for example, government performance and public trust, and then I write the key terms, government performance and political trust, and then I click search. Then you find a number of journal articles and other literature which are related to this area. So first of all, you need to download all documents which are relevant to your topic, your work, and you have to read them, and then you might cite them. Assume this is a very important article which is very relevant. For importing it, we click this site. Or the easiest way is we can do a certain setting here. We come here and we click from this horizontal 3 lines and we click settings. From the setting, you can click here bibliography manager and you click show links to import citation. And our software is not bibtex, we select EndNote. So it will be automatically selected, okay? It will be linked with our EndNote. So just click save to EndNote, okay? Here import into EndNote. You can either use cite or import into EndNote. So if I click import into the EndNote here, it will be automatically imported into the EndNote library. This should be imported. You see, so far we have only one which we have created manually, but now it should be imported. Now importing process is ongoing. You see, automatically it has been imported. Our second source or reference has been imported. If you click here, maybe imported, you can check it, imported reference. If you click it, this source has been imported into our EndNote library. The preview is just like this: the author name, the year of publication, the title, the journal name, okay, detailed information imported here. So you may check it. So we have now 2 references. Again, we add like this. We add additional references. So we need to first create our EndNote library. Just we can use as many references as possible that qualify our work. Again, let me add this one: political trust, individual level characteristic may be relevant after reading. Actually, I download first, I read it, I save it into certain folder which I designate for my work purpose. So I first download all materials and read, and then I want to cite this one, for example. Again, I import into EndNote here, import it and open it here. It would be automatically imported. The third, again, we have the third reference, 3 references so far. We can add again another. Let me add another just for this purpose. The 4 is enough. 4 references are enough. So let me add another one, maybe in the second page of the Google Scholar. Yeah, I may use this one. How do citizen evaluate? Then I download it, I check it, whether it is relevant or not. I need to download. You can read quickly the abstract, and if it is relevant to your topic, you download the PDF and you save it into your folder. It may help you to build your arguments and ideas. So let me import into EndNote. Okay, automatically imported into my EndNote library. So I have now 4 references. So for time being, these 4 references are enough for illustration purpose. So the first step is what? To create EndNote library, either manually using this command reference, or you can directly import from the Google Scholar. You could have as many references as possible, okay? Now for time being, we have 4. For demonstration purpose, this is enough. Now let me open the Word document. Assume you have established some ideas. It's about understatement of the problem. Usually the first paragraph is our statement of the problem. We need to provide the desired scenario related to our topic about public trust. Maybe I may write like this. Studies public trust is driven by the importance of linking citizen to government-run institution. It would contribute for achieving good governance. Assume I have obtained these ideas from this reference. Okay, after reading it, you know that you have obtained a number of important ideas about the role of public trust to driving good governance. So I have to select this reference. So you need to highlight this reference that you are going to cite in your document. So I select here, where? In the EndNote software. In the EndNote software, you select it. Once you have selected the reference that you are going to cite, then you open your Word document. Now we open the Word document. Then I have to put the cursor where I want to cite. So I want to cite at the end of this maybe paragraph or certain texts. I put my cursor here. This is usually parenthetical citation. Once I put the cursor here where I want to cite, then I go to the EndNote command from the Word document here. You find here the EndNote command, EndNote, which is integrated in your Word document. It is once you have installed it, automatically it will be integrated into the Word document. So I click it. I click here EndNote. So I select, I click EndNote here. You have a number of options. If you look here, insert citations. Then if you want to edit and manage, you click here. And you see the style. Already what we have selected, the style is AP7. You can change into Harvard. You can change into author year. Okay, you have many options here. But AP 7th edition is the preferred in social science, so let me put it is. And then I click in order to insert the reference which I selected from the EndNote software. I click here, insert citation. Then options are there. So I wanted to insert what? Selected citation. So I click insert selected citation. Click it. You click it, and then it would be just within a fraction of a second, it would be inserted as in-text citation. Usually, which is what? Parenthetical citation, which comes at the end of our sentence or paragraph or phrase. So it would be inserted. You see, using AP style, the name of the author, okay, the year of publication, in between there is a comma, so this is the standard for, but what you will do is simply you put full stop at the end. Of course, the full stop should come here at the end. It should not be before the in-text citation, it should come at the end. So this is automatically inserted by the software. So this is a parenthetical. The third task is the list of reference. It is organized by the software itself. Once you have inserted the in-text citation in your document, the list of reference or bibliography is done automatically by the software itself. As you can see, at the end of the document, you find, okay, it makes the referencing task very easy, manageable, super easy. So what is expected from you is just to write references here. For the subsequent citations, the software would generate just immediately after this the reference arranged alphabetically. Now we have one reference. Again, we want to mention another source, maybe to describe the problem related to our study area, related to especially the public trust, the transition word from the desired scenario in the first paragraph and the problem or the reality, which is the problem, usually using the negative transition words or phrases like yet, however, okay, this is the desired situation, but the trust level is declining from time to time, especially since 2004. this indicates the problem. So there is a problem related to political trust or public trust. So I want to, now this is a very strong statement, so I want to cite here. Assume I built my idea about this statement just assume from Muhammad Ali, from this source. Therefore, I have to select, highlight this source from the EndNote software. So from the EndNote software, I have to select this one. Then I have to cite this source. So first I have to select or highlight in the EndNote software. Just already here I have highlighted it. And then I'm going to cite it by opening my Word document. This is the place where I'm going to cite. I have to indicate the cursor here. Already my EndNote command in the document has been opened. So I go to insert citation here. Then insert selector citation. Already I've selected the citation from the EndNote software. So here I insert selector citation, click it. So when you click, so that source is automatically inserted here. Okay, the place where, so I just put the full stop here, but the list of reference will be automatic. If you go down, you see, arranged alphabetically. Since Muhammad comes first before S, then arranged alphabetically like this with detailed information. Now, let me show another additional point. I wanted to add more than one source. Assume we want to mention compared with the developed country, political trust in many African countries as well as other developing countries. And we have really stated this statement based on multiple sources. Example, I wanted to select Dong and Said Bain, and first Dong here I select it, and then just I press Ctrl K and I select Said. Okay, the two sources are selected in my EndNote library. Okay, two sources are selected, and then I go to my Word document where I wanted to cite. Already I put my cursor here. This is the place where I cite. Already I've selected the two sources, so I click here, insert citation, and insert selector citation. So it will be automatically cited, the two sources, okay? Dong and then Said arranged alphabetically. They are arranged alphabetically, that is the API style. In between the two references, the separation is semicolon here, semicolon. It is done by the software itself. If you go to Dong, okay, already Said already is there, but Dong is another new reference, so added into the list of reference arranged alphabetically. Let me show you additional thing. So far we have seen the parenthetical when you put in-text citation at the end of our sentence construction or paragraph or phrase, but we may write, okay, using narrative citation. Then let me do that. For narrative citation, we may say according to, when you say according to, we are going to cite low level of trust. We may say low level of trust would result in instability and violence. Okay, now we have obtained this idea, assume from Castile, okay, from Castile, from this source, Castile and Sutherland, the work in 2016. Then I have to select this reference, to select this source from my EndNote library. We should not forget that one. And once I have selected it, I go to my Word document. Now I want to mention according to the source, okay, the reference, according to, then my cursor should be here. Okay, according to, then I have to mention the source. So I have to put the cursor here, and then I click insert citation, I click here, insert citation, and then insert selector citation. The default is both author name and year of publication are in the bracket. This is the default version in the EndNote software. But this is not the appropriate or standard way of in-text citation or referencing. Because whenever we have narrative citation, if you want to embed in-text citation into our sentence construction, we need to put the author name, the last name of the author, out of the bracket and only year of publication in the bracket. So we need to edit it. We need to edit. Just click here. You click the in-text citation that you want to edit, particularly to change from parenthetical citation into narrative citation. We click it and then we go to here, edit and manage citation. I click it, then we here, just it has been selected here. We go here, formatting. We go here, formatting, default. The default is parenthetical citation. But now we want to change into author name out of the bracket, only year of publication in the bracket, and then I click this box. We select this formatting. Display as author out of the bracket, year in the bracket. So I click this one. If you want to write page number, and that idea you obtain from page number 23, for example, then I write page number 23 if it is required actually. As an advice, you use page number only for direct quotation. For other, if you paraphrase it, if you summarize it, okay, the techniques how to take ideas from other sources, no need to use page number. Only for direct quotation, you use page number. Assume this is a direct quotation, then I write page just here, 23, and I click OK. It will be automatically edited. So here it is narrative citation. Castelia, Kekon, and Switzerland. Okay, this is APA style. Then Euro publication, comma, page 23. The idea is low level trust. Usually we put in the quotation mark. So Castelia and Kekon, Switzerland, they should be displayed in the list of reference. Already it is there. So the list of reference bibliography section would be automatic. Once you have cited, once you have inserted in-text citation in your document, the software will generate the list of references. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel.